Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gaming with Blockchain episode. I'm your host, Aminu, and today, what are we talking about? We are now looking at Geno City, and this is another game that's been very, very impressive. And if they've gone through a massive amount of rebuilds and constant adding of new features. And like I said, sometimes I barely can keep up with what's going on. So right now you're looking at overall as the full menu of your account. So I'm already logged in. Your trainer level, the amount of Nokens you have in your file. We'll touch about that in a moment. The energy that is in place, the active lineup, which is my lineup here. I have five NFT gnomes that are going into battle, and this is a game now that's a PvP game, and they'll be doing something that seems like more of an MMO. And it's hard to say if that will be that, but it looks like it's touching on to that kind of feature. So we're looking at what they've had for airdrops for the no city collections, the top 100 Noken holders who received a whitelist for land. I'm not one of them, so don't even worry. I missed that entirely. Um, they're packs that you could buy for Noken, so you don't always have to have Wax to purchase some of their NFT products. You can have Noken in which you want to make a purchase as well, which is find that really really great. So again, use case for their game token. And again, but again, I'll get back to that as well. What the dash sale is all about, how to watch for the playlists, um, energies that you can receive, and how you could gain other energy elements within your NFTs if you want to do the battles, and then this whole sub menu that's here. They have the dash cell that we looked at, the setup of the lineup. I've touched on all this before. Exploring the city, the story mode, which has grown extensively. So there's more NFTs that you can add to try to gain other NFTs. So this is a way in which if you have this particular NFT, you want to claim it, you can retrieve a different NFT or even a pack sometimes. So I haven't been able to be fortunate to gather any of these NFTs, and I will stress this very importantly right now too. So let's say if I want to enter the story and wanted to get this particular demon gob gnome, I don't have any of them at the moment. And what I would like to see in the game itself, it will be a feature that it will link you into it. So if you want to kind of search for this particular NFT, you have a link to have options to go find it. So if I go to the marketplace, I have to do this manually. Gnome series, and then search for this gnome, which would be demon gnome. Oh, actually, it's a complex series. Sorry, it's not even the gnome series. So let me change that. It's a different collection. And the name was Demon Knob. So what do you want to find out for sure? If I can see if I find it here. And oh, unfortunately, it's not here now. They did have it before, so it looks like someone got it because it was the one on list, and I wanted to show something very particular about any of these that you do in the story mode. And let me see if I can find it. Maybe in legendary. Nope. Yeah, it's probably sold. Yeah. So it's very very important that when you do buy any of these story mode NFTs, that you want to make sure that it hasn't been used in the story. And I'll always try to stress this as much as I can, simply because that means you can't use it in the story again. It's already been used in the story. That means you can't reuse it. So something to be very cognitive of if you buy any of these NFTs to claim a story, that you where it hasn't been used prior. So that's something to really watch out for. So I haven't gone in and retrieved any of these new ones. As I said, it would be nice if it links directly into Atomic Hub or any other marketplace, so that if you were interested in purchasing on a secondary market, you can do so. But that's something, again, it's not a hit or miss type of thing. It'll be a nice add-on if you want to call it that. Let me see if I can find it. Nice, cool feature here. Um, oh no, that's a story mode to vote. Sorry, that's not the same thing. So then there's the PvP mode, which shows you what my battle status has been. So you can see I'm a little balanced, I could guess. Wins and lose. But you can tell too, I only have two that are now enabled to play, which means they need food. They have no energy, so I'm going to give them some right now and boost their needed gameplay so that they can continue to play. So what happens is once they're exhausted all their energy, they're out of the lineup of playing. So I'm now 2 out of 5 in terms of my battle chances. You don't need to have all 5 NFTs in battle. You could start off again like with one, just like in the previous game, yeah, of what we discussed about. They don't need to have the maximum of everything. It's just about the grinding process of building up. Everyone has to do it. So just do it. Like if you're interested in the game, take your time. It's not going to hurt. It's not going to factor into anything. What's great about the game is that you're playing within the pool that you're set with. So, of course, I always get this time second. So, give it a few seconds. Let it kind of close out. And we'll do this again. So, you're not, if I'm a level 1 and I'm just starting out, I'm not going to be going up against a level 30 or level 15. The range is a plus and minus of 5 levels. So it's always giving you a fair chance to build yourself and build your roster up as you gradually need to. So, play for what it is, gradually build up. Any game is like that. There's nothing where it's going to be something that's automatic unless you're ready to put in as much of your discretionary income, if you have it, to do so. If your discretionary income is limited, then of course play wisely and essentially take your time. So I'm just going to level up here. So I'll keep them in the lineup a little longer. And it's always going to be a challenge of trying to level up and then trying to keep them fed. It's like you're dealing with, it's dealing like with your own pets. It's if you had pets, you have to keep them fed, especially if they're say a working animal, right? If you have cattle or horses, it's about keeping them fed. If they're a working animal, a working resource, put them to work, and then come back and manage their health, manage their needs as needed. Same thing in a very simplified manner, if you want to call it that. Let me see what else I can do here. So I'm just gonna, like I said, now that I'm here, I'll just level them up. And you can collect more than one, just so you know that you don't have to kind of keep going back and forth all the time. Let's see if I can do this. And who do I need here? Apply here. And you have to enjoy the artwork too. Bread of gnome, special porridge, full buffet. Dripping sausage, wheel of cheese, of a sugar. So imaginative, if you think of it in that sense. Let's see who else needed. And there we go. Improve that. Okay, so now the gnomes are now back to relatively full health. That means that now they'll be able to battle a little longer, and you'll be able to um, see what's going on and view your stats once the story mode, not story mode, the bad PvP mode is up to date. So I can always go in too as well and apply more skills to these gnomes if I want to, but I have to take them out of the lineup because right now they're in the lineup. I have to take them out of the lineup in order to apply the skills. And you can see where what you receive once they win in terms of your Gnoken, and the percentage of their win per bonus that they receive. Now, I haven't gone in and collected any of the bonuses, but I do. This is kind of my roster of teams that I apply, and I try to give them as much of a level as necessary. The pet staking as well. Here's the pets. So you have 48 hours in which to claim, because after the 48 hours you don't collect anymore. So I'm going to claim now and apply. Who should I apply to? Who should I apply to? I applied to the one last before, so I'm going to apply to Rebel, and I'm going to apply. And right now, as I said in previous videos, you can't assign the skill specifically. It just automatically just goes to, all skills go to the one NFT that you've selected. The egg feature is a breeding factor right now. That's going on. That's also within 30 days, and after 30 days it doesn't claim, as you can see here. So I try to do it as more or less along the same time as I do the pets. Try to claim them and bring them in. They added a few characters in which you can bring into place to stake. I was trying to stake these guys the other day, but ran out of CPU. And even though I did add more CPU, because if you understand the whole process, the CPU is in a cycling mode. So I think I'll just be adding a bit more to that overall. And we'll see how that moves along. You can do the stake all as well if need be. And there we go. And that sometimes happens, and just wait this out. And I'll come back to that. But then there's the achievements, which I haven't claimed in any of them in terms of, because again, it's one of those things you can only do it once. You can never, you can't reuse it. So I haven't applied it just yet. I'm gonna wait and see again a little bit more where I feel about that and what's going on there. Then you have your own bonus as well that you can claim if you wanted to. That's when the NFTs that you have staked. It's taking a little bit of time to kind of show, but I have a few NFTs that are staked here, but they're not displaying. So I have to find out why, because I had them before, so they're not showing now. So we'll have to come back to that. And then, of course, the marketplace. So maybe these are slightly disabled. So what they have done recently, they've now partnered with another game feature, which I guess will be implemented into the Gnome City at a later time. And they'll be introducing their racing component later on, the crypto racing. Now, don't have that to show here unless I can find that within their new so, let's see if it's going to be here. And let's do a quick search. And this is now the new one that's coming in relatively shortly. This is now another pack that you can buy that somehow is going to be all integrated. And I can only imagine how in their huge megaverse instead of metaverse play feature. And these are all now the vehicles that you can utilize and play into the game. And you know, this is be ways in which they'll be unleashed. So let's take a look at their little video here. And that'll be coming in shortly. This is the roadmap for this particular game. And I think it'll be kind of similar to what you're having with the GNOME process. Again, it's hard to determine how it's going to be integrated. It's just because I can think of one thing, and I don't want to be short selling the game or limiting the possibilities. But who's to say? Who's to know? Like, this is something that's brand new to everyone. Everyone's anticipating its features. Everyone's hoping it comes out relatively soon. But it's a play pack that you will be able to kind of merge your cards. So I haven't unpacked many cards to blend. You could blend certain cards to get a new card, but I haven't done that just yet. Because all this is kind of being released as I'm doing this video right now. So a lot of features are happening as I'm recording this particular video. So it'll be too immature for me to bring in information lesson for sure. I've already kind of tested it out myself before showing it to you. But I did talk about now the Gnoken token. And this is now the governance token that's going to be part of the game. Again, in ways to bring utility to Gnoken in terms of, as I had shown you earlier, where you can buy NFTs with Gnoken, you're rewarded with Gnoken, and other ways in which you can earn Gnoken as well. And they've released their governance of 1.2, what it all means, how the mechanics are going to work around this DAO, sorry, and how you're going to vote, the proposal process, the rewarding process, community input, which is the most vital and most important element here, and how they're going to drive basically the Gnoken economy within the game. And these are now all information that are, again, relatively to try to remain as transparent as possible. So I'll leave this in the show notes for anyone who's interested in reading more about it and understanding where the evolution process is moving towards for a lot of these play to earn games, is where it's like, again, community driven. It's not just top tier and a top tier only, and then everything that's kind of reacts to it in that kind of hierarchy. It's more of a very lateral system that they're looking to accomplish, where there's give and take, evenly distribution. So I hope that kind of gives you insight of what else is going on in Gnome City. And believe me, time you get the chance to watch this time, it gets put on air and live. There'll be new features coming in. You just gotta stay on top of it. And again, if there's any questions, definitely come and ask. I'll do all I can to provide as much insight as I can, as I to myself try to maintain a slighter kind of upper hand in what's going on. And it's not, I tell everybody, everyone says there's so many things, there's so many projects, and that's why I said you can't cover them all, you can't play them all. You really have to kind of hone in on something that really kind of really resonates with you, and something you enjoy, and you go, okay, I can see where the potential is here. I can see the broader picture. Or maybe not, and if it's not even that, at least ultimately you really enjoy it. If you're doing this and you don't enjoy it, then you're not going to be in it for very long. And there's some who just want to flip and buy and flip, and that's part of personal choice. I'm not going to knock it if that's the attributes, that's the kind of thing you're looking to do. All the power to you there as well. So, but it's really making a decision what it is you're trying to achieve, and kind of stick to point to get to those goals. So I hope this has been helpful. Again, like I said, I probably have another video to kind of showcase a little later. That's going to be a completely different game on a different blockchain entirely. But like anything, it's always about trying to give as many options to the play to earn model, for people to understand why this is kind of an exciting time. Because if you think about it in this way, people say, well, you're just playing a game, but behind the game is everything else. There's still a management team, there's still programmers, still infrastructure to some regard, because these take servers, this takes resources of some kind. There's administration costs. All these things are still part of the behind the scenes factors of any well run business. And gaming, as far as it being entertainment, is still a business. So if you understand some of that kind of components, then maybe it will kind of make sense, from that standpoint. I'm not saying this is something to go and quit your day job on. This is not financial advice. This is not something to go, leap into the lake head first. It's really paying attention to the what's happening, and getting a sense of kind of sediment of the markets and everything else. So until next time, again, thank you for sharing, and commenting and following, and all these new subscribers. Definitely welcome on board. You're in for some exciting times moving ahead, and I hope you are enjoying yourself despite everything else that's going on in the world, and regardless of which way you're playing it. If you're actually playing the game, or you're just a trader and you want to just kind of trade out assets, I hope that's making it worthwhile, nonetheless. So until next time, everyone, take care, stay safe, and we'll touch base soon. Thank you.